Thank you so much for allowing me to take some of your time tonight. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with you, and today I want to talk to you about the brand refresh that we're doing on our labels. And so on this presentation, we're going to take a trip down memory lane and see some of our past labels and take a look at where we've been and go through some of the issues that we face or that we did face with our previous labels, and then how we changed our labels to address some of those concerns. And then we'll go through what our current labels look like and some of the reasoning behind some of the changes that we made. So let's get started. All right, so let's take a look at what our labels used to look like. So some of you, if you've been with the company for a long time, you may remember our old tagline, Nutritionals You Can Trust, and some of our old packaging. For some of you who are newer, maybe you've never seen this before, but it's always fun to see this. And if you are coming to convention this year in August, you may see some of this packaging in our museum at the home office. Here are some more pictures. So when we first introduced Nutrimeal and our first nutrition bars and the first reset kit. And we also introduced the Your Health, Your Life, Your Way tagline back in 2012. And this is when we started introducing the globe mark, which we all know today. This is our Sanse line when this got introduced. So again, another look at some of our packaging through the years. Some of you also may remember our snack bars. So I don't know about you guys, but I really did like the Peanutty Bliss. That was one of my favorites. We also had the My Smart Food line as well. And of course, you guys know Celavive. That is our current skincare line. So we had all of these products, and obviously we still do have all of these products. But we did face some issues, and we wanted to make sure that our new packaging addressed these things and our new labels addressed these things. So when we looked at our full line of nutritional products and the labels, one of the things that you probably noticed is that the globe mark changed on each of the products. It was actually just slightly different on each of the product lines. It changed based on the body benefit. And actually, interestingly enough, especially for me as the person who's over the brand, most of the brands that you see out there, if they have a particular mark associated with the brand, that mark doesn't change. And this is for brand continuity and brand recognition. And so having the globe actually change on all of our different products is not great for brand recognition. And this is something that we wanted to address with our line specifically. The other thing that we looked at with our labels is that if you look at the bottle here on the left, the USANA name was actually pushed to the side and was vertical rather than horizontal. This made it very hard to read if you were trying to take a picture of it. As you guys know, our bottles are not sold in stores. They're sold through associates like yourselves. So we're not taking up counter space or space in a grocery store. So people are taking pictures of our products, they're sharing it online, people are buying our products through our store and our website. So we want to make sure that the USANA name is very visible when people are looking at our products. And it's just not very visible here. What is visible is the globe, but if someone was searching for our products online, they can't really search for the globe here. You'll also know, if you've been with the company for a while, you'll recognize that the globe here does have some significance with the product. But if you're not aware of the significance, if you're just a regular customer, you wouldn't know what the globe really stands for. What you're really looking for is the name of the product. But unfortunately, with our older packaging, the name of the product was very small and in a lighter color font at the bottom of the product. And so it was hard to read. And that was a lot of feedback that we got from associates and customers, that the product name was hard to read. And it was at the bottom. And you can see here that it was actually very difficult for a lot of our different markets to fit everything that they needed to on the label. The globe was taking up a lot of room. Here's just an example of the USANA Inc. Instagram feed. And again, you can see that we're featuring a lot of our products, but when you're glancing at the feed, all you can really see is the globe mark. It stood out, but you couldn't tell what the product itself was. Here's just another example. This associate is featuring the products in a great informational YouTube video, but the name of the product and actually the name of the company isn't standing out. So if a consumer was looking at this video, it would be hard for them to tell what the associate was actually talking about. We wanted to try to fix these things. So I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek at some of the early design concepts that we were looking at. Our design team actually came up with dozens of different designs for our bottles. We went through a very thorough design process. These were just some of the designs that we were looking at. So you can see here that we had some key concepts that we wanted to incorporate as we moved forward. First of all, we really did like the color coding, ensuring that each of the body benefit categories had a particular color associated with that body benefit. We really liked that part of our previous design, so we wanted that carried over. We wanted to ensure that the USANA name was clear and could be seen on the product. And we wanted to make sure that the product name was very clear and prominent. So that brings us to the current design that you guys have all been seeing on our new labels. And let's talk about why we made the decisions that we did. Let's take a closer look. So looking at this bottle, we can see a few things. First of all, we have the USANA name clear and upfront horizontally on the label. We have the name of the product very clear and prominent. One of the things that I absolutely love about this new design is that if there is a particular technology associated with the product, that it is written out up front underneath the product name. So you'll notice that on the products. Because we have more room on the front of the label, we can also say what the product does, which is a new feature of these labels. So you can see here in this example that we can actually say what this product does in written copy for the consumer. There's also a body benefit icon. So this iconography matches up with the iconography that is found on our website so that people can associate the body benefit with what the product does for them. The other thing that I really love about this design is that it prominently features the Dr. Wentz potency guarantee, which previously was on the back of the labels or had to be removed because of space issues. So that is prominently featured here on the front of the labels. Now, one thing that we've gotten a lot of questions about is this wave pattern at the bottom. And I want to give you guys a little insight into where this wave pattern originated from. So one thing that I've always found interesting about our products is that you take them morning and night, but I don't think a lot of people really understand the significance of taking our products morning and night. When you need to take our products you're taking them because you want to keep your body at an optimal level of nutrition. And so when you take your products at morning and night, the amount of the nutrients in your blood, it goes up, and then it starts to dip around the 12-hour mark. So you take the product again so that your body is circulating the optimal amount of that nutrient in your blood. And if you look at our clinical studies and our clinical papers, this wave pattern is a representation of what that wave pattern looks like when you're keeping the optimal amount of nutrients in your blood system. So it's a visual reminder of what it means to take the products morning and night and keep that optimal nutrition in your body. So that's where that came from. I always thought that that was an interesting component of the updated design. So in addition to updating the visual design of our bottles, we're also trying to be more environmentally friendly. So there's a couple other components that I wanted to mention to you. So our new bottles that go with the new labels, they are made with 25% post-consumer recycled material. They are also, some of the bottles will be smaller overall. They'll have the same amount of product in them, but they will be smaller to reduce the amount of plastic that we're using. And even though our bottles have always been recyclable, the bottles will have an indicator on the label that shows you how to recycle them. So in order to recycle all of our bottles, all you do is remove the label and then you put the bottle in your recycle bin. So that is just a brief synopsis of our label refresh. I hope that gives you some more insight into why we made the changes that we did. And hopefully it makes sharing our products online more fun. We hope that, sharing these products online, people can see the product name more visually, and people are seeing the name USANA. The name USANA is really the most important thing that people need to take away when you are sharing the USANA name. And yeah, so that's what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. I hope that that was interesting for you. And I don't know, Liz, if there are any questions.
Thank you so much, Teresa. That was really fun to hear. I think, for some of us who've been with USANA for a while, it was really fun to see some of the old packaging that we had. Like you said, it was definitely a trip down memory lane. Um, and yeah, like it's just really also fun to see the reasons behind some of the elements that we have in the new packaging and branding now. And I know that I didn't know some of it, so I'm sure that everyone online right now, they didn't know some of it as well. So that was very fun to see. So let me take a look at the chat and see if there are any questions. And Teresa, if you see any questions that jump out at you, feel free to answer as well.
Yeah, and really quick, I forgot to mention, there is more information in the hub about the label refresh under the training section. If you guys have more questions, there is an FAQ, a frequently asked questions, in the hub under the training section, under the refresh area, that goes into the updates as far as the recyclability of the bottles and also all the reasoning behind the refresh itself. So if I probably missed one or two things, I'm looking at my notes, but yeah, there's more information on the hub.
Perfect. And Teresa, I don't know if you may have already mentioned this, but someone did ask, why do we need to remove the label before putting in the recycling bin?
That is a great question. So we asked that too when we were going through this whole process. So the reason to remove the label is because of the adhesive that is used to put the label on the bottles. There's something with that adhesive that makes it easier to recycle when you remove the label.
Thank you. That's great information. I think those are probably all the questions that we received. We had great feedback. I think everyone had a fun time just seeing the new labels and getting to know the reasoning behind what we're doing. So thanks again, Teresa. Thanks for all your time. We really appreciate you taking time out of your evening to come share all this with us tonight.
Yeah, of course. I hope that I'm able to join you guys again soon.